Hello. Welcome back to my channel. What's good, YouTube? YouTube boy DefineSEBY, and today we're going to be talking about some study tips, some must-do study tips for all you students out here. Yes, I'm talking to y'all, but I'm talking to myself. It comes with practice and it comes with experience. So let's get into some things. What is good, you? First things first, y'all, we reached 100 subscribers. Thank you so much for your support, y'all. I really think y'all really did share that last video, so thank you so much. Secondly, shoot, I was gonna say something and I forgot it. Y'all, I remember what I had to say. It is Black History Month. So make sure you are doing your research, learn a history fact every day. I'm gonna do the same. Honestly, I believe they're on Google sometimes, you know, the Google sign that has fun facts every day. Black History Month is really important. And today, this year, we got 29 days. It's a whole leap year out here. So you have one extra day to be great. Not just within February, but within the entire year. So don't waste that time. You get a whole extra 24 hours. Make the most of it. Today, I'm gonna add some study tips on it. This is not gonna be like your regular study tip kind of video. We are going to take this from a different kind of approach. As you all know, I am a behavioral neuroscience major, so I study the brain and like everything around that, and I kind of study how we should do things like with the brain as kind of a priority. So since it kind of functions everything that's going on, you should kind of abide by that. You feel me? I've been in college since 2016, and it has been such a pushing through journey. Like, honestly, it is. I've been pushing through. It has never been an easy experience as a pre-med major for me. Like, still isn't. Still waiting for the time it will be. But I'm gonna start applying these techniques. As I'm telling you these things, I have started applying these things since this semester started, and I've seen a difference. I just wanted to share those things with you, and hopefully if you can relate with my experience, then we can become great together. A little bit every day, ... of your life. Okay, with this concept, you need to study like every day. I guess what I'm going to say at the end of the video will kind of counteract this one. So with this idea, it's called spaced repetition. I attended a biomedical science meeting. It was a biomedical club, and one of my friends really invited me to come watch a med student that also is on the committee with people for accepting students into the Mayo Med program. So first of all, y'all know I want to go to Mayo Clinic. That's like my only dream. So I literally stormed there and saw him, and I was like, oh. He was talking about one of his study techniques that he did in college, and that really carried him through his entire undergrad and medical school career. And top of his class, I believe. So what the technique that he used was spaced repetition. It's also known as the spacing effect if you want to go into psychology. By definition, it is a phenomenon in which recall of material that is presented repeatedly is superior when the presentations are some time apart rather than immediately following one another. So, anti-cramming. Learn a bit now, review a bit tomorrow, review a bit 2 days later, then review next week. Let's space out your stuff. That's why they always tell you to study in advance, but they're not telling you to study everything in advance. Just as you learn, study what you study, that, comprehend that. Make sure you can make sense of what you're doing so you can move forward. Don't just know it and then trash it. That is not the way to learn, especially if you're going into medicine. You literally need to know. And pre-med majors, please leave the comment below. Chemistry, you can't get to chemistry 2 if you don't know chemistry 1, and you will not get to orgo if you don't know chemistry 2. And baby, best believe you will not get to orgo 2 if you don't know orgo 1. That's why I have this periodic table on my wall. Okay? Literally, you need to know that periodic table will become your best friend. Best friend. Not even, it's like a love-hate relationship, honestly. No one has time to waste studying all hours of the night. Tried that, played myself. I'm over it. Moving forward, when you're studying, you need to get creative. No one said you gotta sit there and write down your notes. Person A is doing, maybe person B is doing, maybe every letter of the alphabet. Person A through Z is doing that. You can be that different person and study in a different kind of way. PowerPoints. If making PowerPoints makes you understand things more, make PowerPoints. Find a wall in your room and dedicate that to be a study wall and put note cards on there. Honey, draw a picture. Like, I'm telling you, you can study in ways that no one else does if it works for you, if your brain can comprehend. If it's hard for you to study what's in the book without actually applying it with your hands, aka me, you have to like draw things out. Draw things out, write it down, literally write it down. I tell myself this all the time. I'm really talking to myself. As you learn, create a chart that can help you memorize. Literally create the chart yourself. Don't make it crazy difficult to read. Detailed but conceptual. But put the little details that you know, maybe you should know this. If it's similar to another concept, put that little detail that can differ between the two and just make sure that's one aspect you know about this concept that differentiates between the other concept. Honey, we're scholars out here. We're scholars. Look at it every day for 15 to 30 minutes without interruption. Put your phone away. Like, just throw it in the back seat. Put it in your backpack. Turn it off. Airplane mode. Something. No music, no interruption. Look at it for 15 to 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes tops, bro. If you need to do an hour, 45 minutes, just like no interruption. Just focus on what you're focusing on. And make sure you're not tired while you're doing this. So that means if you need to do it first thing in the morning, do it first thing in the morning, or middle of the day, do it middle of the day, but it's 30 minutes of your day. Post it up in your room. Add notes if you must. Make it make sense. Don't just look at it because you made it to look at. Literally comprehend your chart and make the most of your time. Make the most of your time. And if you're wasting time not studying while you should be studying during a study session, I'm really dragging myself. And if you can't study with people, if you can't be productive when studying with people, and first of all, let me just apologize to everyone that's ever studied with me ever. You will not get any homework done. I'm working on it. Literally find a space, a time where you can focus on your own. And maybe when you're studying on your own, write down questions that you can bring back to the study group. And that way y'all can really actually make it a learning, effective study session. And they don't have to be X amount of hours long. And now y'all like making up excuses to leave, faking a phone call. Not saying that I've done that, but it's not like you don't want to. And the last thing I really want to push on there is you need to have enough discipline to at least have one no study day. So in the beginning, I know I said a little bit every day, but if you are studying a little longer during those other days, make sure you have one day where you are not studying, where you are not looking at the books. If you're not worried about that material, it'll always be in the back of your head. And if you're looking at it every day, once you open those books and you're challenged with a question, you'll know how to respond. Like, you already know, because your brain's like, oh, yeah, I already know this. You've been looking at it every day this week. So it doesn't make sense for you to not know it. It is very, very, very super important to create a balance with your academics. Another thing I really want to point out is that you need to sleep. You need to sleep. All-nighters are for the weak. If you don't sleep, you won't retain anything. It'll just go right into your short-term memory and you'll just be lost. Literally, make sure you sleep. You need to study and then get a full night of sleep. I'm not talking about a little quick nap. I'm talking about literally sleeping for the full night so you can wake up and be productive. Given on what kind of lifestyle you got, make sure you are sleeping enough. Don't let stress keep you up at night. Don't sit here and be like, I need to study. It's not productive. You're wasting your time. And like we said, time, can't get time back. Make sure you are allowing your brain to make those connections throughout the night. That's when it happens, is when you're sleeping. So allow your brain to make those connections throughout the night. This is not about you. It's about your brain. It's about your body. Be nice to them. You literally only get one. You only get one. You need to do things that will make your body happy to do them, not feel sluggish. You gotta do it. If you got one bad test result, don't let it get to another without fixing that behavior. Just make sure you are doing the correct life habits so your brain and your body can keep up. I feel like the mental is like it can sometimes act like a separate entity. Like, if you have the correct mental on you, your brain and your body will keep up with that mental, but you gotta make sure you're sleeping for that mental to be right. You gotta make sure you're eating for that mental to be right. You gotta make sure you're working out, making good decisions, making yourself happy, but also being productive. All these factors. Even discipline is a really big factor for being happy. All these factors really tie in to a wonderful life with mental health, making sure you're productive and being a productive student. Put the control back in your hands and say no when it's time to say no, and say yes when it's time to say yes. If you want sushi, but you cannot afford sushi, and after that study session, you're like, okay, we're gonna get sushi. Y'all, unless someone can cover for me, I cannot attend this sushi sesh just because I'm really trying to budget and create a savings. And when I tell you, you will probably open the eyes of everyone else sitting at the table. They're like, oh, you right, let's just save our money. We could just go home, and when we actually got that coin, we can go get sushi, and voila. But the goal is to have one no study day and to not feel like you're so behind, like you missed every day of the semester, because it really be that way. I think that's the last tip I have. These are 3 things that I really do apply. They're kind of broad, but if you apply them in every aspect of being a student in every class, like, I promise you it will pay off. We're not trying to study long hours of the day anymore. Like, no, I'm not about that anymore. I study and I make sure I comprehend, and then I move forward. Y'all, thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you like and comment. Make sure your comments, I get a lot of people texting me and sending like personal messages when I promote my video. Make sure you leave those comments on the video. Leave those comments on the video because it really does help the growth of the channel, and it really helps YouTube put my videos on more recommended like lists for other people that are using YouTube. So please make sure you leave the comments down below. You're watching To Wear the White Coat. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much.